Eric, I filmed my phone and welcome to another video. Today we are going to be listening to Sophie's debut and unfortunately her only studio album, Oil of Every Pearl's Uninsides. If you don't know already, Sophie passed away tragically a couple days before I'm filming this, and that's just really heartbreaking, like, especially like so young, like it shouldn't have happened, but it's an accident and that's what happens. I was requested just a few days prior to her death to do a reaction to her, and originally it was going to be on my calendar for much later, but I figured with this tragic passing that happened, it might be best to listen to it soon after to celebrate her life. I know that Sophie was featured on Arca, and I don't think it was on a song that I particularly really enjoyed, but I am a fan of dance pop. I'm very much a fan of like this electronica, especially when it gets experimental. I just have to sit with it for a little bit. And so I'm excited to get into this album that seems like it's going to be really good and a great way to celebrate her life. Anyways, let's get into it. Track number 1, It's Okay to Cry. Oh, that's a nice little way to fade in. I know that scares you. It's okay. I think your inside is your best side. It's okay to cry. Oh, I like the different delivery of that. Like the whispering versus the singing of it. Cool. Ooh, explosion. I saw the magazine you were reading. Wish I could have said this. It's okay to cry. Got nothing to hide. I feel like we're like looking at the sky at night as we listen to the song. Oh, that's very dance pop. Oh, ends with explosion. So that was It's Okay to Cry. And what a lovely way to start off this album. Like, I was having some speaker issues, like it was kind of glitching for a little bit, and then I did have to take a breather because there was some external noise, but like it makes me just that much more excited to listen to it again because I still really enjoyed it. I really liked hearing us basically travel up in space. It felt like a meteor shower, honestly. And the song is about, you know, I want to be there for you. It's okay to cry. I didn't expect you to let your guard down, but like, I'm glad that you are, and I'm here for you in whatever like you need. And like, that's such a sweet message. Like, I like that message a lot. I think when I was looking up lyrics, as I do for a lot of these videos, that this is kind of like looking at, you know, someone coming out or someone showing a different side of themselves. Like, it could be in that very specific coming out perspective or in a more general, like showing a different side that they didn't expect. Like, it's one of those, but seeing it from like the other perspective. And like, you know, I think it's a sweet song. This is definitely a very sweet way to start the project. Track number 2 is Ponyboy. Oh, they just said pony boy. Was that an elephant, like, trunk noise? This gives me kind of Rip the Slit vibes from Kick 1. Pony boy, it's a vibe. I don't know what this voice, this deeper voice is saying. Why am I turning up to this song? Oh, someone's singing in the background. That sounds like an arf of a seal. Like, I feel like we're at a zoo. I like that noise. The do 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 do. The vocal going on right now feels very much like 90s, 2000s throwback. Pony boy. interesting metal clank. Okay. So that was Ponyboy, a distinct song to be, like, to say the least, basically. Like, okay. This song definitely fits in that Kick One Arca vibe. And I'm just thinking about that one because that's where this request came from. And, I think they both are up for Grammy for Dance Electronic Album. I don't know, I wasn't familiar with much of the dance electronic artists when I reacted to them before. But, like, I think this one is also up for it. And, like, they have some similar vibes. Like, this definitely gives me, like, non-binary slash watch slash rip the slit from Kick One. And apparently, lyrically, it's very much about animal role play in a certain context. I'm not trying to get demonetized here, so I will leave it at that. You can look that up on your own time. But basically, that's what that's about. I still think it's hilarious, the pony boy, like, a vibe. It is. And, like, I don't know, just sonically, I really enjoy it. Lyrically, I'm like, okay, sure, why not? Like, Sophie can do what they want. And, like, good for her, honestly. Track number 3 is Faceshopping. My face is the front of shop. My face is the real shop front. Okay, we bringing that production back from Ponyboy. It's a little different this time. Less elephant. Oh, that na 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 part? Okay. I'm real when I shop my face. Oh, is that about, like, photoshopping a little bit? We came back to this. This is the same verse again. Oh, we just kind of shifted. This is really pretty. It just feels like a completely different song than what we had before. Oh, they just deconstructed that. Oh, it's distorting the original chorus. I'm real when I shop my face. Oh, so that was Faceshopping, and what an interesting song. Like, I really like the chorus where it's basically just rearranging words and having, like, completely different meanings. It's like, my face is the front of shop, my face is the real shop front. Like, I'm real when I shop my face. Like, there's different meanings. Like, one's probably more about Photoshop, one's more about, like, oh, that real ID is, like, facial recognition, or, like, everyone wants to see your face and your face represents you the most. Like, there's just a lot of, like, implications to it. And when you go into verses, apparently there are other words that are being said pretty much. I just could not tell because I think the production was overwhelming it on the speaker. And so, like, Sophie does have a bunch of different verses as well. And, like, hers, like, deal with things like plastic surgery, hormone replacement, like, synthesizing the real, like, a bunch of different topics. And, like, I encourage you to go throughout it because I don't feel like I can give that to you in a 1 minute explanation. But it's a cool song. Like, we definitely are still staying within that deconstructed dance vibe. And, like, that's definitely really cool. Like, I like this chorus because it kind of has, like, a little bit of sassy mood to it. And so I do like that. Like, similar to Ponyboy, I guess, in that sense. But, like, yeah, I am hoping in the rest of the work to get into some more, I don't know, more melodic stuff, much like the It's Okay to Cry. just because like I feel like that ends up being more of my sound, but I'm excited for whatever we end up getting. Track number 4, Is It Cold in the Water? Oh, it's kind of fading from the shadows. I left my home. The sonics here, again, definitely overwhelming lyrics. Oh, that's Sophie singing. She can really sing. Yeah, delivery and sonic production, it's very hard for me to decipher lyrics. I think, is it cold? I think that's what she's saying. Oh, that just sounds really beautiful. In the water. Is it cold? 100 years? Wow. Ooh, it feels like we're building a little bit in the background. Okay. There's some different vocals in the background. Oh, we just finished. So that was Is It Cold in the Water? And that was really beautiful, honestly. Like, I think I'm going to have to definitely listen to that better in headphones. Like, I feel like it will sound better. Like, it sounds really good now, but like, it definitely has much more ambiance to it. And much like, I think I started noticing this trend on Jessie, Volume 3 by Jacob Collier. I realized that anytime a dance electronic album is getting reacted to on my speaker, it's like, yes, I like it, but then I'm like, oh, I'm going to love it later. And I definitely feel that sensation here. It seems lyrically we're asking pretty much is it cold in the water? Like, the person's freezing, burning, like, is dealing with a lot of stuff, and like, there's some metaphor there that I'm not personally grasping on the first listen, just because of like I was much more focused on the sonics of it, and it does sound really pretty. It seems like the person that Sophie is sampling each time or is having sing is a regular occurrence, which is not familiar with like my listening of hearing like someone use the same vocals of another artist several times. But like, Sophie, you do you. Like, I think Cecile Believe, I think is their name, and like her voice can do a lot of things, clearly. So I guess that's a great reason to collaborate a lot. But like, I also want to hear some of Sophie's voice. Like, Sophie definitely does have a good voice. I listened to it on It's Okay to Cry. And so like, Sophie's making some artistic choices to write certain songs that then might not sing them, and that's totally cool. That's up to their choice. They're a producer. It's what they do. I also noticed that it seemed like going into this next song, Infatuation, that it kind of just went from Is It Cold in the Water to Infatuation, which will be very exciting to hear in headphones. Same with, I think, Ponyboy to Faceshopping also kind of did that, but because I talk about each track in between, I do have to stop them. But like, that is something that's really cool to know, and it's something I do enjoy having when I listen to other albums. Track number 5 is Infatuation. Yeah, those vocals feel like they are continuing from Is It Cold in the Water. I cannot decipher those lyrics, and they're delivered in a very distinct way. Oh, those like synths coming in right there feels kind of explosive, like It's Okay to Cry. Whispering, Infatuation. I want to know. Oh, that felt very boom. Oh, some voice to that. Infatuation. Oh, sing. Oh, it feels like we are really building, and I feel like that's gonna come through very much in headphones too. Feels like we're just filling the space with sound, and it sounds beautiful. Oh, we kind of went out of that, and now we're really getting in your face. Oh, bubbles. Oh, that's that same vocal delivery from before. So that was Infatuation, and definitely we have transitioned to a more ambient sound. And like this one's very interesting. I feel like it's definitely even more so when I need to listen to with headphones. I think currently through speaker listening, I've liked Cold in the Water more than Infatuation in terms of that because I feel like those two are a little bit more comparable than the rest of the album. And like I feel like this one will get much more justice by listening in headphones. And like I also definitely found lyrically this song to be interesting because like saying Infatuation, who are you, deep down I want to know, like that, you know, you can read that as, oh, I'm infatuated with this person, and who are they, I want to know, like I just really want to know who they are deep down, not just like their physicality. And like that's one interpretation, but someone on Genius Lyrics mentioned that apparently this person that Sophie is infatuated with is in fact like a future version of herself or a new version of herself or a like physically changed version of herself, which is a very interesting thing. Like it's way more interesting than saying, "Oh, I'm just infatuated, like this like potential love interest. Oh, I have this crush on someone." Like it's way more interesting when that crush is on like a future version of you and who you want yourself to be and who you envision yourself to be. And like that's just a really cool message, and it makes me want to like re-listen to the song pretty soon and just like listen, if that makes sense. Like I feel like it gives off a very like different vibe through that. The vocal delivery at the beginning and end, like it's very like high pitched, and like I kind of like thought of it in my head almost like if you vocalized like a small child, not in like a bad way, just like the enunciation of different like words and stuff like that just felt very like distinctly much like someone trying to form the words. And I think that can play into the message of the song because like you're trying to grow and develop into who you want to be. And so that's a pre-developed stage. And so like it's interesting. It's definitely something that's much more of an acquired taste and something I will have to listen to more. Track number 6 is Not Okay. Oh, I feel like this is gonna hype us up maybe. Oh, that kind of sounded like the start of a bop. I have no idea what's going on, but I think I really like it. Ooh, we're just blowing up production, deconstructing it. Ooh, there's a lot of different sounds going on here. This feels kind of like a remix of a song, but I don't, have the original song. I don't really know what to say. I'm just kind of like, there's something happening every few seconds. Oh, that's it. So that was Not Okay, and that was more than okay. Like, it made it sound like I didn't like it, but it's definitely above okay. Like, I kind of vibe to it, and I kind of want to hear it. Like, I do like the girl. Like, yeah, it's a fun, deconstructed dance type of track. And I'm kind of confused on why it's called Not Okay because, like, that lyric is never mentioned. Like, Not Okay is never mentioned in the lyrics, but it basically sounds like someone's infatuated with this girl. And they're saying, so baby, come and like I think try, I don't know, or come and kiss, or whatever you want to do. Like that's your business. And like it was kind of like, seemed like it was like taking a song that was like throwback dance pop and then just like blowing it up. And like, I kind of want to hear the original, like what that song would be if it wasn't like deconstructed. But like, I think she did a really interesting job deconstructing it. Like, it definitely sounds almost like a little Jacob Collier-esque or a little Arca-esque. Like, those two are like the dance electronic people I've listened to recently. And so, like, yeah, it's definitely very interesting. And I'm kind of excited to hear that again because, like, that one, I liked a lot of, like, the sonic elements of it. I just didn't know where we were going. And so now I'm excited to, see where we go now. Track number 7 is Pretending. We're, again, coming out of that shadows, like, very minimalist. This definitely feels very ambient, but in a much more natural way than the previous few tracks. Ooh, I can hear some more synthy production coming in on the underneath, and it still just feels like it's so naturally coming in. Ooh, is that a build? Or are we still instrumental? Ooh. I feel like we're in a rainforest. Oh. That feels like almost like a siren, but like natural. Oh, what is that? That kind of disturbed the calm. Feels like we're hearing like animal noises a little bit, but like, again, subtle. Ooh, something's going on right now. It's like an engine, like coming to tear down the forest. So that was Pretending, and wow. Okay. Like, that's such a distinct thing because, like, it's an instrumental. There are apparently lyrics in it that you can't really tell because apparently this production was so slowed down that if you speed it up to like 1,000% or higher, you can decipher some vocals, and it's just, I was just pretending, like, pretty much over and over for a little bit. Like, that's so interesting because it feels very much like an instrumental and it's beautiful. And I don't know, I think I've mentioned before that like instrumentals just, I don't really like vibe to that much. Like, they can be like okay, and like they might function nice as an interlude, and maybe this does function as an interlude because it's like track 7 of 9. But like, that was the longest song on this album that I've heard so far, and it might be close to the top. Like, I really like it. Like, that's not dissing other tracks. It's really me being like, oh wow, I was like captivated. Like, the fact that 6 minutes went by, like, didn't see that. And now I'm like, oh, she can produce something very ambient and it sounds so good. And I feel like it definitely feels very natural, and then you get some like that engine roar at the end, and I'm like, oh, is this an environmental commentary? Because I felt that distinctly. And like, that's just me. I'm sure I'm completely misinterpreting in that sense, because like it definitely seems like it goes along with the transformation that we've been talking about throughout this album. But like, I feel like there could be some environmental commentary. I mean, it's oil of every pearl's insides. Like, that has a very natural thing, and there's a lot of stuff in the water and that kind of thing. So like, I definitely think that Sophie is inspired by nature as well. I also just want to correct something I said earlier, and I think I said that Sophie was up for Best Dance Electronic Album. I think I said that it was like for this year, but I didn't remember. But it was not, because this album, I just realized, came out in 2017. So it was up for it like a couple years back, but like it only got nominated, didn't win, unfortunately, for Sophie. But like, Sophie could get a posthumous Grammy Award win through the Arca Kick One album. I don't know how much it gives to featured artist, but like that'd be cool as well. But anyway, this instrumental of all things is the thing that is sucking me back into the album for the last 2 tracks, which is like really interesting. Like, I'm not saying that the songs before weren't good. It's just that like they weren't coming through, I felt like, as much as I feel like they will in headphones. But this one just hit, and I know that in headphones it's gonna be like 100 times better. But it already sounded so good here, and that makes me really pumped. Track number 8 is Immaterial. Oh, we are much more upbeat. Oh, we are now much more in the forefront rather than in the background. Oh, I like this shift. It's very groovy. This makes me want to dance so much. You could be me and I could be you. Tell me, where do I exist? Oh, I exist like in immaterial. Like, you can't put me in physicality, in reality. Oh, we faded back into the background. Okay. Oh. Okay. Cecile will leave. I think that is her singing again. Immaterial. Immaterial. Yes, I like that switch from background to forefront again. This just makes me want to like jump up and down, like at a rave, I guess. I've never been at a rave, but I feel like this would be played at one. So that was Immaterial, and that was a fun song. Like, the Immaterial, like it's still playing in my head. Like, it's fun. It belongs on a same playlist with like Excess by Rina Sawayama, or just much of the Sawayama album. Like, definitely can see that. Like, I don't know, like they just give me similar vibes. Or like the Bees and Honey from the deluxe edition, definitely I believe in that for sure. Like, yeah, it has that general vibe, and it's fun. Like, it seems like we're being like, oh, like certain things are just irrelevant, they're immaterial, and we're just gonna have some fun. And like, it does feel like a little bubblegummy in a way. Like, there's definitely some distortion and some deconstruction that makes it very cohesive with the rest of the project, but it definitely allows itself to still be the fun, like, kind of more mainstream, kind of typical track. And I like it. It's fun to play, it's fun to dance, and like I definitely think it's gonna be like close to the top on here as well. I may also need more help with lyrics because there's a lot of long paragraphs on Genius about it, and that's a lot for the time I'm filming at. So if you have any context that you think is really helpful in understanding the song, please let me know down in the comments below. Track number 9, last track on this album, Whole New World / Pretend World. This song is just over 9 minutes. It might be like 2 songs just combined into one thing, as we've seen a lot of songs transition into the next song really nicely. So maybe Sophie was like, I'm just gonna put these 2 songs together, but we're just gonna list it as the last song of the album. Oh, we're just starting with Whole New World and then do, Whole New World. Yeah, it's a fun vibe. Oh, we shifted into more, I think, Cecily's vocals. Oh, that sounded like the elephant noise from before. Oh. Definitely a lot of auxiliary noise in her production, but we like it. I thought I could see the whole new world in your eyes. Wild. I like the chants. Ooh, we've gotten a little more chaotic in our production. This is such a distinct part, and I like their vocals here. feel like the production's circling. I don't know how to describe why. Feels like we're trying to knock on the door in several different ways. Oh, I don't know, that just like startled me a little bit. Oh, there's some high-pitched vocals in the background. Oh, I feel like the production's getting a little more muffled here. Feels like we're turning a little bit more to the ambiance of Pretending from earlier. I guess that would make sense with it kind of being Pretend World, and that was Pretending. Yeah, this feels much more calming, much like Pretending. I feel like there's so many layers, I can't really fully tell what's going on. Oh, that sounded like a meow. This sounds like while I'm filming and I hear like the water pump going off. Oh, wow. So that was Whole New World / Pretend World. And wow, very distinct way to end an album. Like 9-minute songs at the end of an album. That typically is a lot. And while I will admit that this did feel closer to its runtime than maybe like Pretending did, like Pretending just felt very effortless. Like this one did feel longer, and I think that's just what happens if we're just not ready for that type of song, like because most of the other songs on this album are in the 3 to 4 minute range, and so I definitely have to experience that again because like I feel like the Whole New World part like just felt so repetitive for just a few minutes, and so that it made the last half of it like feel like we had entered a second song in terms of the length. Like I feel like the second half of it, when we enter that Pretend World, it feels much more like a song that I can feel like it passes by with no time. But like the Whole New World, I felt like very got repetitive. But like I think it is interesting, especially when I go into the lyrics, because it seems like originally I was like, oh, like, you know, we have love for each other, you know, it's a whole new world, you know, Aladdin vibes. But then like apparently the altered vocals in Pretend World is like, oh, all alone you were faking. And then like even in Whole New World we were hearing the I thought I could see a whole new world, which means they probably couldn't see a whole new world. Like that they're seeing retrospectively that yikes. It's not as good as I thought it would be. And like this is a little bit different because I feel like this one talks much more about a relationship. Like I hope Sophie's not thinking post transformation that she wants to go return. But maybe that's just the narrative she's telling. Or maybe she's like, oh, we were just in a pretend world. We were pretending. Like, I don't know. I'm not quite sure. Maybe she's answered that in interviews, in other songs that she's released since this album. Like, I don't know. And I'm very interested in finding out. And, like, yeah, I think this song kind of, like, tries to marry the very deconstructed, like, dance of, like, a lot of the songs on this album with that kind of ambient that, like, Pretending does so well. And, like, I think it works. I think I'm going to have to experience it in a much more, you know, clear audio for me to fully, like, determine that. With that said, we have finished this album, and I have to say, this is a lovely album. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Very much one that will need more listening in order to, you know, get a full grasp of it. I mean, like, there's just so many layers on it. Like, there's no way you could catch it all in a first listen in the first place. But also, like, it's definitely one you need headphones for. It's definitely one you just need to hear the ins and outs of it. And, like, I feel like when I listened to Kick One, like, I didn't really fully vibe to it on my very first listen. Like, I liked it, but I was like, okay. And like now I do like it a lot more. And I feel like that's what's gonna happen with this album as well. Like I do like it, and I especially like when she puts in those auxiliary parts and then some of those ambient parts. Lovely. Like she does a lot of cool things, and it makes me really want to hear more of her music. I know that she had a compilation of singles called Product, if that's of interest to you all for me to listen to, or any songs that came out post this. I know she also has a remix album of this album, which I don't know if y'all want to see a bunch of reactions to a remix album, but go off. Let me know if you want me to. But like, yeah, like it's definitely like distinct. It's definitely very interesting. It's definitely something I'm going to need more time with. Not in the way of, oh, I don't like it now. It's like I do like it now, but like it seems like an album that wasn't made you to listen to once, vibe to it once, and move on. It seems like it's something you need to fully indoctrinate, fully envelop yourself in. Like the ocean enveloping you because of all that ocean imagery. Like, I feel like you have to do that with this album. And so, like, I'm very excited to do so, and I'm very excited to see what I discover as I continue listening. While I do enjoy this album, it does make me sad because we won't be getting a follow-up project unless there's a posthumous album. I don't know. Like, I'm not going to try to bother Sophie's loved ones for that because that just doesn't seem right. Like, death is real. Like, I don't want to, interrupt someone's grieving process because I want no music. Like, there's plenty of music that comes out every day. I can get it from elsewhere. It's okay. But, like, it is unfortunate that, this really talented musician, this talented producer, this talented singer, this talented artist, like, is no longer with us. Like, that is really tragic. Please give all your love and support to her loved ones. Like, they definitely need it. And I definitely want to add to that even if this is not your normal type of music that you listen to, or you don't like certain songs on this album, this is not the time to really be like, oh, like, she didn't make good music anyway. Like, that would be rude. Don't be rude. Like, she makes great music, and like, if you see on my list, if there's anything that I say that's not really my thing, it's very clearly that. It's not my thing, but it doesn't mean it's a bad song or that you can't like it. Like, it's talent. And, like, it's might be a talent that's much more, like, an acquired taste than, some other mainstream pop tracks. With that said, here are some of my favorites. So the top tier are the standouts, the songs I'm going to be listening to over and over again. Like, my favorites. And then in the middle are my other favorites. I'll add them to my playlist, but they're not going to be played nearly as much as the top tier, but they're still good songs. And then at the bottom is not really my thing. It doesn't mean it's a bad song. It doesn't mean you can't like it. It doesn't mean she doesn't have talent. It just means that, like, it just might not be for me. And that's totally okay. This is not my typical genre, but I am loving exploring it. If you like this video, please like it. Please comment down below with what you'd like me to react or listen to next. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already and you'd like to be. And thanks for watching. This is TurtleStormer. Catch you later.
It's storming turtles from out of the sky. Turtles don't need to know why. Smile big, open your eyes. It's storming turtles, it's storming turtles from out of the sky. Turtles don't need to know why. Smile big, open